Hi friends, it's Miss Susan, and today we are going to learn all about being calm and what to do if we ever feel worried or scared. Okay, so before we jump into our activities today, I want to focus a little bit on becoming relaxed first. So if you have a special spot in your house where you feel really relaxed and comfortable, go ahead and go there now and we can do this together. Okay, and I want you to remember too that we have the power to find calmness within our bodies and within ourselves. We just have to really relax our mind and our bodies and become very quiet. And that can be a little tricky to achieve at first, but the more we practice, the more we can do that, and then we can become calm anywhere. But let's go ahead and find our calm place first, if you have that anywhere in your house. And when we get there, you can sit down, you can lay down, you can keep your eyes open, closed, whatever you feel comfortable doing and what makes you feel calm is perfectly fine. Okay, so if you would like, again, you can keep your eyes open or closed, but we're gonna practice being calm. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, but I want you to answer in your mind. So I don't want you to say them out loud, I want you to answer them in your mind. And we're gonna try and stay as calm as possible, okay? So let's get started. Today, we're gonna reflect on being calm. So to begin, close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now, I want you to think about the word calm. What does it mean to you to be calm? What does it feel like when you're calm? How would you describe the experience of being calm to someone who has never been calm before? Now, I want you to think about a place that makes you feel calm. What about this place makes you feel calm? Is it the way it feels, smells, sounds? Next, I want you to think of a person who makes you feel calm. It can be someone from school, from home, or somewhere else. What about this person makes you feel calm? Now, I want you to think about something you do that makes you feel calm. What about that makes you feel calm? Lastly, think about a wave of calmness coming over your body right now. Let that calmness sink into your body, and when you're finished, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, and slowly open your eyes. Okay, so we're gonna begin to wiggle our fingers, we're gonna wiggle our toes. If you haven't opened your eyes yet, go ahead and do that. How do you feel? Did that exercise help you feel calm at all? If you did, that's great. But remember that if it didn't help you feel calm, that's okay too. It does take a lot of practice, and sometimes some days are easier to feel calm than others. So it's okay if that didn't help you today, but that's why we practice. Okay, so keep practicing slowing down and being mindful every day, and it will get easier. So we're gonna come back to the breath we used when we were relaxing, and remember that throughout today because we're gonna use that for our activity at the end. But first, we are gonna read a story called Ruby Has a Worry by Tom Percival. Okay, so have you ever felt worried before? I'm sure you probably have. I think we all have. But what did you do to feel better when you felt worried? Yeah, those are all good ideas. So let's read and let's find out what Ruby does when she feels worried. Okay, let's see. Ruby has a worry. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high, and she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. It wasn't a very big worry. You can see him right there, he's pretty tiny. In fact, it was so small that at first, Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. And each day it got a little bigger. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal box. And it was still there at night when she brushed her teeth. I would just not leave her alone. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. She tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing things that she loved. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realize it, but she was doing the worst thing you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Now the worry was enormous, right? You see how big the worry got? Okay, so why do you think Ruby's worry kept getting bigger? Why do you think it kept growing? Yeah, that's right. Maybe because she didn't tell anyone about it. She was kind of pretending like it wasn't there. She didn't talk to anyone about it. Okay, what do you think will help make this worry go away? Yeah, maybe telling an adult what's going on and having them help her out, that might make the worry go away. All right, so let's keep reading and see what happens. All right, it could barely fit into the kitchen at dinner time, and it filled up half of the school bus. And it took up a whole row at the movie theater. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she could never feel happy again. Then one day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt, sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was. Ruby realized that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind. As he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing you could ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it. As the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon, both of their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Of course, that wasn't the last time she ever had a worry. Everyone gets them from time to time. But now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for too long. All right, so we can see how much that worry shrank. Okay, so that is the end of Ruby Finds a Worry. Okay, so how did Ruby feel after she told the boy about her worry? How do you think she felt? Yeah, she felt really happy. Remember in the book, there was a bunch of rainbows and she was jumping for joy. She felt really, probably relieved to tell somebody because she thought that she was the only one and turns out she wasn't. So she felt very happy about that. So who is someone in your life that you could tell if you had a worry? Who are some of those people? Yeah, so if you were here for our summer safety camp that we did last month, we came up with a top 5 safe grown-up list. Okay, so that has mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and a teacher. Okay, so I'm sure you could probably think of even more than 5 adults too, right? But those are people that you can tell if you ever feel like Ruby and if you ever have a worry and if you need to talk about it. Because remember, that's the only way to make these worries go away is if you talk about it. Okay, so now that we've read that story and we've learned all about worry monsters, we're gonna make our own. All right, so I am gonna show you what yours is gonna look like, something like this. Okay, so what you're gonna need is your white cardstock. You are gonna need those little circle stickers that come with today's activity. You're gonna need a cup of water, some paint and your paintbrush. You're also gonna need a pen and a straw. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna first stick on those little circles, and you can put as many as you want because those are gonna be your worry monster's eyes. So maybe your worry monster has 1 eye, maybe they have 2, maybe they have 5, whatever you feel like. You can go ahead and put those anywhere you want. And then you are gonna wet your paintbrush, and my paint's gonna look a little different than yours, but I'm sure we have the same colors. You can wet your paintbrush and make sure it's nice and wet. Pick a color, dip into that color, and then you're gonna put it on your paper. You're gonna make sure it's wet so it's still kind of watery, and you're gonna put it on there, and then you're gonna use your straw, and you're gonna blow it around so it kind of makes these splatters, right? You see that? But the fun part with this is we are gonna use that calm breathing that we talked about in the beginning to blow around the paint, okay? So remember when we breathed in through our nose and out through our mouth? We're gonna do the same thing. So can we practice that again? We're gonna breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Good job. So we're gonna breathe in for 5 seconds and then we're gonna breathe out for 7. So why don't we practice that? And I will count for you so you don't have to. But we're gonna breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is the technique we're gonna use to blow around the paint on our little piece of paper. Okay, and remember, it's very important that we're careful and we're not breathing in the paint on accident. So don't put your mouth on the straw until you're breathing out, okay? So you're gonna breathe in, and then you're gonna use your straw to breathe out for 7 seconds, okay? And you can have an adult help you. And then at the end, you are gonna let your paint dry, and then you can put, you can use your pen to put those little black spots for the eyes. And then you can cut out your worry monster, you can keep him on the piece of paper, you can do whatever you want. And that way we have a worry monster to remind us that when we do have a worry, the only way to get rid of it is to tell an adult about what's going on. So that way we have a little reminder, okay? So I hope that you had a lot of fun today. I hope you liked the story, and I hope you liked the activities, and I hope you learned a little bit about handling your worries and your fears. And I also really hope that you will join me tomorrow for our last day of mindfulness camp. So I will see you then. Bye.